Yo, it's day 83. This is what your girl looks like when she gets caught in the fucking rain. Oh my god, it's been an absolute shit show of a day. Like, I'm, I'm just so done with today. Um, it's just been, it's been relentless, and I'm just, yeah. I was literally just sat on the bed, just going through my phone, just saying goodnight to everyone. It's like 7:15. I'm like, I'm done. Good night. Messaging my friend who's coming all the way up from, I think she's coming up from Torquay, South Devon, to have a day in Bristol with me. So that's going to be really cool. What else? So yeah, so I've got that to look forward to. So I want to try and get a good night's sleep. I was a little bit restless last night. I think it's because I knew I had today to work and to sort the car and everything, which has been, oh my God. So good news, side lights fixed, everything's done, saved myself £15 because when he was like, oh, your side lights out, and I was like, just give me the bulb. And he grabbed the bulb, and I was like, you do all the other checks. And I ran into the store, bought the bulb, came back, pushed it in myself, and I was like, there you go, I fitted it myself. You can't charge me 13 quid for it. So it cost me £3.20 instead of £15. So winner. Yeah, everything else, he checked all the fluids, filled them up, filled all the tires up, confirmed battery is dead, even though it was a 20-minute drive to get to the garage. When he plugged it in, he's like, yeah, your battery is dead. I was like, oh, that's what the jump start kit on the back seat's for. And then we left, we did the check at Halfords, and then just drove across to the other side of because it's in like this shopping industrial estate. Went over and got some food. So I've had my first bit of dinner today, and then came back. We were literally eating for 15 minutes tops, came back, went to start the car, and it nearly didn't start again. And I'm like, oh God. And then as we're driving back, it starts to rain, it starts to get dusk. The inside of the car, I've realised now it's dark, needs cleaning, because I couldn't see anything. And then when we got back, I live opposite a club, and they've got a night on, and whenever they have a night on, the street just feels like we can't find any parking spaces. So I got back, no spaces, so I've had to put her right the way down the road, and I can't just go and jump in a remover because the battery. So I am just going to leave her where she is for now. When I went to start her up and move her, there was a massive doink sound. I think it was just the brakes had seized from where she's been sat for 6 weeks and hasn't been moved. So I drove her halfway to the garage, and then I let my mate drive and just said, can you just confirm that everything feels okay? I think it does, but let's both of us have a little drive in her and see what she thinks. And yeah, she was just like, yeah, she feels okay. She's just a little bit sticky. But yeah, that would explain because she's been sat for weeks and weeks. So that's some good. I'm just recharging my battery. I think it's done actually. Yeah, almost. It's got 1 bar left. I'm just recharging the battery pack because obviously, yeah, my mate's due into Bristol at 10:30 tomorrow. So the plan is to get up mega early, just chuck some jammies on, run out the front. And if there's spaces, which there normally is first thing on Saturday morning, the street's quite clear, I'm just going to get her moved from that space. But obviously I don't want to go out there. It is absolutely, like, when we pulled up, it rained so hard we just sat in the car for like a minute until it calmed down a bit, because if we'd have got out and we got wet, and we literally just crossed the road and come up to the door. So that's been kind of work's been, it wasn't too bad actually. I managed to get my work done, but again, just really distracted today. I am, yeah, kind of glad today's over now. Now I know everything's done, and I've just got to get her out. Oh, look at the state of me. Look, I'm soaking wet. Like, I still got my jumper still wet. I haven't even bothered taking it off. I just got in, sat on the bed, and just laid on the bed and was like, I'm done. Today is done. So let's see what stuff has been happening. Haven't. Oh no, I don't know why I've suddenly gone really tired. Oh. so I think so. I found it absolutely hilarious. I know I've healed to the point where I've kind of got back my, like, I wouldn't say healed completely, but I know I've healed enough to like not, like, if someone had said this to me like when everything had just happened, I know that I would have just broken down. I'd have been like, oh my god. Now I read a message that someone on the dating app sent me, and I know he was trying to be funny, because if you read the conversation before, it is we were bantering jokes at each other and just saying how ridiculously unfunny we were, and yeah, they've made a joke which I know they were trying to be funny, and it is absolutely hilarious. And I'd already said to them, you cannot offend me, and I'm not offended by it. Like I said, I cried when I read it. But yeah, we were talking about, they asked what I did for a living, and he was like, let me guess, a model or an international spy? And I was like, so, well, it's definitely not the first, and if it was the second, I wouldn't be able to tell you anyway. And they were like, but I would have guessed, so you wouldn't have to tell me. And then he was like, and I think you'd make a great model. Gloves and balaclavas need to be modelled. They don't sell themselves. I can't say I've ever had a chat up line of a guy saying that I should be a glove and balaclava model. Oh my lord. Oh. So yeah. Who said romance is dead? And then there's other ones, guys, like, for sure your mama is a bee to produce this honey. Like, the messages that I get on there are hilarious. And my profile is so direct. Like, I'm not interested in anything intimate wise. I just want to chat and make some friends. Like, kudos on them for trying. Like, they've got some massive kahunas to be able to just message anyway. But yeah, that just had me in stitches. So yeah, I got my phone because I was going to look at a quote, wasn't I? I don't think, have I screenshot anything today? No, I haven't. So let's have a look. What day is it today? It's the 18th. The dude who did the little check on my car was hilarious. Had such a giggle with him. Yeah, really funny. But anyway, what was I doing? Let's go in. I want to check this. Settings, likes. Here we go. So I'm gonna say okay, I think I'm going to use this one. And it's, one day you will understand why your timing was perfect and why things had to happen exactly the way they did, to protect you, to guide you, and to redirect you to where you were always meant to be. Trust the process of your path, evolution and growth. It's all divine timing. So yeah, I think something I am learning to do now is to go, do you know what? It doesn't matter. Things are always going to happen. You have to just trust that you're meant to be where you are. And it was weird. I think it's off the back of yesterday where it says, you know, I kind of spent a bit of time thinking about some of the redirections that I've had in my life, like losing my dad was a massive, massive redirection. So as painful as that was, that put me on a path of some of the most epic adventures I ever had. And, you know, as much as I would give anything to have him back, the life that I've lived with his kind of memory, that push, that redirection into a place where I would never have ever have gone if he was still here, has got so many huge memories, and life-changing memories. So I just have to realize that everything is a redirection. And yeah, you might not see it now. And like, you know, I lost my dad in 2004, so we're looking at 20 years ago, this redirection. But you know, I'd like to think I'm not going to be sat in 20 years going, oh, I know now why what I've just been through happened. I'm already starting to see why it happened. Like, there is no way I would have been as far down my journey to get in my bus and learning to drive and all those things had what happened not happened. So I have to be grateful for that. And yeah, so my learning today is going to come from it doesn't matter how much you plan and prepare. Occasionally things are going to happen and you're going to kind of stop and go, why is this happening? I've planned for this, I've prepared for this. Like, this is something that my brain really struggles with. I have, like, I catastrophize. Like I said, I can bump my toe and then within half an hour I'm looking at funeral plans. And I think one of the things I'm learning is that, you know I've always been an overthinker because I've always tried to prepare for the multitude of things that could happen so that when something happens, I'm prepared for it. And it was like so many things happened today with the car that I hadn't even thought about or prepared for, and I just handled it. And it's made me realize these little, like, pockets of time where I think things are going to go a certain way, and I have that in my mind, and then it seems that what I tend to do in these moments is go, you hadn't thought of all the things that could have happened wrong with the car. Whereas what I need to do is go, that's great that you didn't do that and you handled everything that came off the back of it. So therefore, this is a lesson. This is a positive lesson in not worrying about stuff, because you didn't worry about what was going to happen with the car, and stuff did happen and you dealt with it. So I think my learning is going to be that don't what's the word I'm looking for? Don't dismiss how important these days are where you've not overthought about something and something has happened and you've handled it anyway, because that's creating a new neural pathway in that you didn't overthink, shit happened anyway, but you dealt with it. Yeah, and I've just got to keep telling myself that, because what I would normally do, what old Stacey would normally do, is it would be like, you didn't plan for this, shit happened, you need to overthink about it a million times to make sure that you're prepared next time. Whereas what I'm finding myself doing now is, you didn't overthink about stuff, shit happened, you dealt with it. How fucking cool is that? Like, you didn't have to overthink. You didn't have to take up your brain. You just dealt with it anyway. You have to, and I think this comes from a lack of trust in yourself, Stacey. You know that you can conquer everything. Like, you get frustrated when people tell you you can't. You know you can. So when you find yourself overthinking, remember what a fucking badass you are. That there are so many times when you've been put in situations and you've just handled it. You've just got the job done. That's where you need to live. That's a pretty awesome place to be. Like, it doesn't happen very often, and you often don't realize you're overthinking about something until you're kind of like neck deep in overthinking. But there's always, you can still always stop, and you can still always go, okay, I've thought of so much, let's just wait and see what happens. And I'm proud of you for, I think it's because you were preoccupied with other stuff that you weren't, you'd kind of said, well, you know, the car's not going to start, so you got the battery pack, but you didn't realize like all the other things that were going to happen, like the big clonk, like your brakes seized up and stuff, and then the wheel was fucking going all janky, and it was, you couldn't have even thought about those things because she'd been so reliable up until that point. And she, like I said, I drove her back and she was fine. I think it's just because we've had some colder weather and we've had some wet weather, and she has been sat for 6 weeks, just not moved. So the brakes seized. And I know it was the brakes because I'd taken the handbrake off. I was literally like, I took my foot off the brake. I was just getting the biting point, and I felt it. She literally went doink, and I put my foot back on the brake, and I looked at Liz and I was like, what was that? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, I think that was the brakes were locked. Because I was really having to rev her and like lift the clutch quite high, and she wasn't moving, and then she just kind of like, so yeah. She drove all right there, she drove all right back. Let's hope that's all it is. She's got an MOT coming up in January, but I probably am going to put her in for a service probably. When I pass my test in December, I probably will get her serviced in December, because then I know if I'm going to be out in the car and I'm on my own. Even though she does have breakdown cover, I would like to know that she is tip top, and then she's all ready and done, so that I haven't got a big expense in January with the MOT and a service. Can do the service in December and then the MOT in January. That just frees up a little bit more money, because obviously I am away at the beginning of March, and then that will mean January and February's paycheck can kind of pay for them too. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. I am happy that I managed to get everything sorted with her. As frustrating as today has been, she's done now, and you've just got to make sure that you go and sit and start her every day for 10 minutes and just let her tick over. It's not going to be great, and it's probably not going to be enough to keep the battery going, but it's going to stop her from seizing. So yeah, every day without fail, go sit in her for 10 minutes. Maybe go and do your journal sat in the car. Like, go and film it in the car while the engine's running. Like, yeah, it's going to be a bit noisy, but it's 20 minutes. That'll keep the car ticking over for 20 minutes. So yeah, do that. My gratitude today is for the dude at Halfords who did my check. Let's check to see if he's emailed me, because he said he would email me the results, but he knew he fixed everything while I was there anyway and filled everything up. Halfords, we check results. Thank you for the pass. Look at all that. But bulbs, wiper blades, windscreen, battery, tyres. She passed battery. Well, yeah, I guess. Oil, screen wash, AdBlue and coolant. Like, congratulations, your vehicle passed all our checks. So yeah, that's a little mini check before I start going out in my lessons in 2 weeks. And I'm hoping that a 2-hour lesson every week is going to be enough to keep the battery charged. So we shall see. And then obviously starting at 10 minutes every day. So yeah, that's it. That was my quote. My lesson is, yeah, enjoy, be proud and enjoy the times that you don't overthink and shit happens and you handle it anyway. My happiness is that the car is now past everything and is pretty much ready, even though she is a little bit dead. I don't know whether I'm gonna, because the friend I'm meeting tomorrow, she was like, oh, I'll be your passenger princess, we can go out for a drive. If the weather's really shit, I'd rather just like mooch around like Bristol Centre and do some stuff. I don't really want to be out trudging in the car if the weather's really, really, really crap. Oh, what else? What else? Happiness is for the car's fixed, and gratitude is for, I don't think his name was on there. It's a shame, because let's have a look. Yeah, his name's not on there. That's a shame. I might see if I can find out who it was, because he was so, we had such a giggle. Oh, e-receipt, is it on there? Oh, it says I can give a review, but I don't know if that's a review about the dude that sorted it. I guess they're going to know who it was. It was only one person there doing it, bless him. And he had cars like trailing in and out. And they saw me early, which was really good. So yeah, that's it. I'm done. I am going to now get this uploaded, get out of my wet clothes and chill, try and get some rest for ready to be all nice and fresh for my friend coming tomorrow. Knees are doing good. They are not painful at all. They're a little bit swollen and still a little bit warm. They've got the I don't know what it's called, second skin, Sanoderm. It's called various different things no matter where you live. And because it's the first one that I've had that's got quite a lot of shading, it's got like one of those little ink sacs on, which is really weird to have. Like I watch loads of tattooing and piercing channels on YouTube, and I always see them talk about them and stuff, but never actually had one, even though I've had Sanoderm used on quite a few of my tattoos. This is the first one that's got quite a big block of shading, and it's really weird to have. It's kind of like, oh, it's a little bit like, yeah, it's just unusual. It's fun. I like seeing different things and how your body does different things when you put it through different things. And yeah, so I'm going to chill out, relax. I've eaten. Battery pack's charging for the morning. I'm just going to leave Emmy where she is. That's it. I'm done. Stacey, proud of you today. You are starting to recognize that overthinking sucks, and you're putting more trust in yourself. Like, I know I've said a few times, like, I trust you. You have to trust yourself. I think you do let that negative voice put doubts in your head, but when you stop and think about it, you've never let yourself down. You've got a good little head on your shoulders, apart from certain things that you really struggle with, but just genuinely with encountering problems and with fixing things and coming up with on the spot solutions and things like that. You are so good at that, and you need to give yourself more credit, and you need to remember who the fuck you are and that you can do this shit. Because when you start overthinking, you need to just go, Stace, you don't need to waste your time thinking about this shit. Just deal with it when it happens. Deal with it if it happens. You know, you need to start, like just then you said, deal with it when it happens. You're already expecting things to happen. Change what you're saying. Deal with it if it happens. You don't need to anticipate 100 things happening every single time. Just the joy of life is to just exist in the moment, in the present moment, and just enjoy everything that you're that present moment, everything that involves. Don't worry about the next moment. Don't worry about what's going to happen next. There's going to be things that you need to plan and prepare for, but the majority of things that you stress and worry about, just let it go. You are such a clever little cookie. You can deal with the shit when it happens, and today is proof of that. Do not forget how good you were today. You lost your shit a little bit in the car when the fucking moped nearly fucking ran down the side of the car, but do you know what? That's why you got a fucking shitty car, because you don't care if it gets dinks or scratches. Like, you were stationary, they were moving, it was on them. Like, yeah, you nearly lost your shit more because you were worried about them, not because of the car. So just deal with shit if it happens. And if it doesn't happen, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's that easy. I love you. Proud of you. I trust you. I believe you. You've got this. Enjoy your evening. Have the best day tomorrow. I don't know when I'll be doing my journal. It'll probably be in the evening when everything's happened. I'm not sure whether she's staying the night or whether she's going to head back. I think she's going to head back because her little sausage dog is not 100%. It's like they've kind of got a semi all clear. But yeah, I probably guess that she's going to want to run home to little sausage. I know I would, so I'm just making that assumption, but she's more than welcome to stay if she wants. So yeah, I'm going to play it by ear. But either way, I will still get my journal done. Even if I have to go and sit in the crapper and do it, it's going to get done. Like, there isn't anything. Like, I post these videos. What does it matter if someone sat in the room? Like, my mate Hinton sat in one of my journals before. So, like, if they were my private journals, private collection, then yeah, maybe. But no, if she's here, she's here. It doesn't matter. We'll see. We'll see. See, this is it. My brain is already doing that stupid thing of, like, trying to think, is she going to be here? What should I do? Stacey! Stop, girl, stop. Just put the brakes on. Take a chill. Stop. Just stop. You got this. I love you. Proud of you. Go and enjoy your evening. Get out your wet clothes. Drink some water. I love you. Get a good night's sleep. And I'll see you tomorrow. Stay cookie.